jail. Brittany and I are going to cover a couple of different things. I'm going to start with one of the first ways that people typically get put in Facebook jail, and that is with too many friend requests. So I know when you start this business, we talk about you want to add friends, you want to expand your network because you've got your warm market, but for everybody that's not always enough. So you want to start adding friends. And the way that you want to add friends is, first and foremost, you want to try to only add about 10 friends a day. So if you're adding 20 friends a day, 30 friends a day, or something crazy like that, you want to stop doing that. You're going to be better off adding 10 new friends a day than sending 30 requests. Even if out of those 10, you're only getting, maybe 3 of those accepted, in the long run, if you're consistent and every day adding 10, you're going to have better results. So one of the first things that you want to do when you're adding friends is go on to someone that you're friends with, and not another distributor, but someone that you're friends with, and look and see, who are some friends you have in common or suggested friends that you might have, and you can add people that way. So when you first start adding friends, it's a pretty easy thing to do. You pick a friend that lives near you, but it's not in the business, and you add 10 of their friends. I typically do mine in the evening. That way in the morning I can accept. So when you accept those friends, you want to put them in groups. So when I accept a new friend, I'm going to go and put them in potential distributor or potential loyal customer or some sort of group like that. That way, later I can go to my feed and go and interact with that person. And that helps as part of the Facebook algorithm. Another thing that you can do to help stay out of Facebook jail is by cleaning out your friend request. And what I mean by this is, if you're sending out 10 requests every day, but only 2 or 3 are accepting, you're getting a big stack of people that are not accepting, and that works against you. Facebook's like, well, Amy sent out 100 requests, but only 10 of them has been accepted, so she's got 90 outstanding requests, and they're going to flag my account, and Amy's going to go in some sort of Facebook jail. And a lot of the times when you're in Facebook jail, you don't even realize it. Typically, 16% of your posts are seen by everybody or something like that. So basically what happens is Facebook knocks that number down to 5% or something like that. Sometimes they do actually block you from sending out other friend requests, but sometimes you don't even know. So for those of you who are sending out the friend requests, we talked about cleaning out the requests that you have out there. So the way that you want to do this is from your computer, you go to your friends section, and then from friends, you're going to click on find friends, and then you're going to click, it's really small, but it says view sent request. So what you want to do is scroll through that list, and people that you've sent a request to maybe a week ago or 2 or 3 days ago, and they haven't accepted, you want to clear out those requests. So take away those requests. Once you do that, your numbers are going to get back balanced, and that's going to lessen your chances of being in Facebook jail. And it just keeps your ratios good. So typically a good rule of thumb is once a week, go in and clean out those old requests. So if they haven't accepted your request in 2 or 3 days, they're probably not going to. The other thing is with your friend request, I just explained that you want to go into, let's say Brittany wasn't a distributor and we were acquaintances from high school. I might go to her page and click on her friends and see whose Facebook suggests that I friend request from her, or who maybe we have 3 or 4 friends in common with, and I would typically send those people requests. Well, guess what? Lots of other people can do that to you too. So one of the things that you want to do as a distributor is to hide your friends. And the way that you can do that, this actually has to be done from your computer. So again, you go into Friends, and then there's a little pencil up in the right-hand side, and it'll say Manage. And you want to click on that, and then Edit Privacy. And then where it says Who can view your friends, you're going to select Only Me. And that's going to keep it where only you can see who your friends are. And that's just another way that you can protect your business. And that can help keep you out of Facebook jail too, because other people aren't going to see who all of your friends are. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions about sending friend requests, or how you delete friend requests, or how something like that will help to keep you out of Facebook jail? Okay, the next thing is messaging. So I know that, especially, we'll use BOGO as an example, because when we have something like the BOGO, you know, you're typically sending the same message to literally hundreds of people. That kind of thing can actually get you put into Facebook jail, because Facebook is going to recognize that Amy has sent the same message that says, hey girl, I'm super excited. I just found out that we have a BOGO sale and you can get 8 wraps for $59. You know, can I help you get started? Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. You send that to 100 different people, and Facebook's like, spam. Even though you're sending an individual message to someone, they still recognize that because you're sending the same message. So a couple of things that you can do to prevent your account from being flagged by sending the same message, and this is something that I typically do, is I still cut and paste a lot of my message, the core of it, but what I'll do is, let's say I'm sending a message to Amber, I'm going to add at the front of that, hi Amber, and then send the message. Or, hey Amber, how's your little girl doing? I noticed she just finished her dance competition, or something like that, to make it a little bit more personal. And then I'm going to copy and paste that message. Or maybe I'm going to say, hey Lisa, I know we had talked about the wraps a while back, and then I'm going to paste that message that says, I just found out. So you got to add a few little personal things there at the beginning to help keep yourself out of Facebook jail. And I know that it's a little bit more time consuming. And for some of them, you're just adding the name and then pasting that same message, but just even adding their name, or maybe an emoji at the end, something to keep it a little bit different, that can help keep your account from getting flagged by Facebook. So you're adding a little bit of extra work, but I promise you, in the long run, if you're keeping your account from getting flagged or getting put in Facebook jail, it's to help your business, and it's going to help you guys. Does anybody have any questions about the messaging? If you do, you can just unmute.
Can they unmute themselves after I've muted them?
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
I can say personally, I was put in Facebook jail. Oh, do we have somebody? I thought somebody chimed in.
It must work. How did you get put in Facebook jail, Brady? Sorry.
Mine says my internet connection is unstable.
You sound fine.
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh crap. So I know that I was put in Facebook jail, and I could only send invites to the last couple of parties that we did. I could only send 50 invites. And normally you can send up to 600, and I send the 600 every single party. So I was a little bit upset with that. And whenever John Eric did this whole Facebook jail, how to stay out of Facebook jail, I was like, okay, I really need to figure this out, because inviting 50 people to an online party is not going to cut it. And so the only two things that I can tell you that I did, and I only did it for 2 days, and I got out of Facebook jail and was actually able to invite more people to the party. I changed in my messaging, literally just said, hi, so-and-so, and then put like a smiley face. Or I would change it up and put like the one where his little hands are doing this, you know, like saying, hey. Just like little simple stuff like that. I did that. And then I went in and deleted all of my accepted friend requests. And I'm telling you, within 2 days, I was out of Facebook jail and I could send more invites. So it goes to show you that the things that Amy was saying really does work, you know.
And I'll just add that even though I never realized those things that I was doing were actually keeping me out of Facebook jail, to my knowledge, I haven't been in there.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I think Brittany is going to cover for us a little bit about posting and your.
Yes, I think you froze, Amy. But yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about, first off, about just like basic setting up your profile type stuff. So John Eric said, if your profile and cover photo is not business or is business, like if it has anything to do with It Works, then that can automatically flag your account if Facebook, you know, if one person you send a friend request to and they say, I don't know this person, and they mark you as spam, and then Facebook comes in and looks at your profile, they need to skim over your profile and know that you're a real person and not that you're an It Works distributor. Now, does that mean, thank you, Amy, for taking pictures.
You better smile.
Jeez. So what you want your friends to know, but you don't want it to be totally blasted in their face, like have your profile picture as the It Works logo or something like that. You want it to be a professional picture of you. It doesn't have to be a professional like you went and had your pictures made, but just an up close so that people can see your face. They want to see who they're doing business with, and that's one way to, you know, keep Facebook from flagging your account. He also said that if you are found to have 2 different Facebook accounts, you can have a profile page, like a personal page, and a business page. But if you have 2 personal profiles, you can get both of your accounts deleted with no warning, no nothing, and there's no way to turn any of it back on. So you have lost every kid photo that you have, everything. So definitely, you know, if you have 2 different accounts, if you're trying to work one with just family and friends and one with just the business, highly suggest merging them and deleting one of them. You definitely don't want to do that. You also, your profile picture, you don't want to have the logo. You want to use your real name. I don't know how many times I have people that send me a friend request and it's like, whatever, big booty, something, like ridiculous names. Just your first, middle, last name, whatever you want to use, but just keep it professional, you know, keep it just your name. You don't need to add any, like, I'm sexy or anything like that. That's just unnecessary, and it's just another way for Facebook to be like, okay, now what's going on here? Because I know her mama did not name her Big Booty, you know, like, that's just crazy. So those are just some tips. Amy's cracking up over there. Those are just some tips, basic tips for your profile, like setting up your picture. Excuse me. Another thing that he mentioned is your about section, and I'm bad about this. I actually need to go back and do this. In your about section, fill it out. You don't necessarily have to put like your city and state and that sort of stuff, or like your job, but when they did the latest upgrade, they did where you could like type out 2 sentences or whatever. Just fill something in there right there. Keep it to what your interests are. Mom of boys, boys rule my house, whatever, you know, whatever you want it to do. Mommypreneur, whatever you want. Just put something in that about section, because he said that if your Facebook account ever gets flagged and they go to like check out your account, that's one thing that will kind of relieve a little bit if you have that filled out. again, don't say rap star. Don't say anything about it works or anything like that. Make it personal to you, and just fill something in right there. So on posting, I learned a lot about posting and what to post and what not to post and how to post whenever he did his video. So on average, 16% of your friends actually see your post. So if you only have 500 friends, only about 80 of your 500 friends are actually seeing your post. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I knew that it was a small amount, but I didn't realize it was that small. So that just kind of goes to show you why we say always expand your market, continue adding new friends. Amy went over, don't go crazy with it, and make sure that you're, deleting those unaccepted friend requests. But definitely you want to continue to expand your market all the time, because only 16% of your friends are actually seeing your post.
Oh, real quick, just while you said that and we were talking about adding new people, I can say it. Sorry. You want to share your story. This is something that we talked about on the leadership call this morning, is sharing your story. I know some of you feel like, gosh, everybody knows my story. I've told why I started this business, 100 times. And it doesn't have to be your complete story every time. But if you're continually adding those new Facebook friends, they don't know why you started this business. They don't know all of those things about you. They don't know that, 2 years ago you were working a full-time job and you were missing things with your babies, or whatever it is. It can be little things, but just continually sharing your story, because you are adding those new people. That is one way that you can share the business, keep it exciting, and that also helps people wanting to join you. So sorry, just when you mentioned that, adding new people, that made me think of that.
No, that's perfect. Yes. And you don't have to have like a grand, spectacular story like I'm a retired mommy. It can be as simple as, I started this business to pay for diapers. Now I can go to the grocery store and not have to struggle and worry about how I'm going to afford to feed my family or put diapers on my kids, or, whatever the situation is. It does not have to be, like I said, some big grand finale type story. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so you want to post every couple of hours on Facebook. It doesn't matter if you could post 10 posts, but if they're not thought out and they're not like thoughtful and they don't touch them, if they don't mean anything, then you might as well have not posted at all. 5 or 6 good thought out posts, whether it's before and afters or whatever, is much better than you posting 10 times a day or 12 times a day and it not meaning anything to anybody. You want to touch people with your posts. That's why telling your story, telling where you were, where you are now, and where you're headed, or where you are now and where you want to be, in the next couple of months or year or whatever it is. Those type of posts will definitely catch somebody more than just 10 random copy and paste posts. So if you just got on, can you mute your line? I'm not sure who it is. Okay, so copy and paste. I know we say to copy and paste all the time, but here's the catch. With Facebook, and I did not know this until I watched John Eric's thing the other day. When you copy and paste something, if Facebook sees that the same words or the same picture is posted numerous times, it brings that post down in your algorithm to where not as many people are going to see it. So if you're Amber's sticking her tongue out like, oh, that sucks. Yes, it so sucks. But here's the key. All you have to do is change it just a little bit. Just tweak it a little bit. Add whatever you want to it. Add
That was because Lexi was taking a picture.
Oh, gotcha. So I thought you were laughing at that. You can take just emojis and add emojis or take emojis out. That sort of, just those small little tweaks will boost.
Also for photos, not that you want to do this on before and after pictures, but on other pictures, adding a border or adding some sort of filter, that changes it just enough that it doesn't recognize it as the same.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't want to add filters to before and afters, but other photos, you might want to add a border or something like that to make yours unique.
Or like if you see a cool quote that you like, then take that quote and like add it to another picture. Use like word swag or, you know, anything to type that quote onto a different picture. That way that it'll show up. It just, all these tips will bump your post up in your algorithm to where they're being shown on more people's profiles. I had no idea that they were watching like what status I posted and who posted that before, you know, because I will admit I take other people's posts and I copy and paste them and slap them up there, and it's easy and, you know, it's worked. Now I'm finding, oh, well, maybe that's why I haven't been getting as much response on, you know, my posts as what I had been. So definitely just tweaking it a little bit. The pictures and the words can definitely bump, you know, your post up on your algorithm to show to where it's shown on more people's posts. Oh, on that. So I know when Amy tried to post a picture on whenever we did the BOGO, when she immediately tried to post it, it had all the Facebook, I mean the It Works BOGO picture, like the corporate approved, the picture that they put. When she tried to post that, it wouldn't let her post it. She added a border and it let her post it. But what had happened was that picture had already been marked by Facebook, had already been marked spam. So if a picture has already been marked spam by Facebook and you go to try to post it, even if it lets you post that picture, it messes with your algorithm. It can put you in Facebook jail. It can end up damaging you more than it can help you. So make sure that you're finding new, fresh pictures. You know, go to the It Works Facebook page. You can go, I think there's pictures in the eSuite. I'm not 100% sure, but I can find out if anybody wants to look there. I know in the Diva group, Jessie has a thread in there of before and after pictures that are approved by corporate, you know, and that you can use. Use fresh pictures. Don't continuously copy and paste the same thing. I know whenever one picture goes viral, it seems like every rap girl in the world seems to post that same picture, you know. Mix them up. You definitely don't want to post the same thing because, like I said, it's not helping your Facebook algorithm. It's not helping those posts to be bumped up into other people's news feeds. Oh, okay. So whenever a good thing that I know we had mentioned before and I kind of got away with it and I started recently doing it again, type in the words, like put your verbiage as your post and put your picture in the comment, because Facebook can't, they can't like watch your comments that you're posting on stuff. So if you wanted to post a good before and after picture that, you know, 5 other rap girls on your team have posted, then post the picture in the comments, and Facebook can't tell that that's that picture, and so it doesn't punish your algorithm. Does that make sense?
The other thing about doing it in the comments is if people are saying that your stuff is spam or trying to flag, you know, like if someone's like, oh, this is spam, they cannot mark that in your comments. When you say look in the comments, they can't report your post because they chose to click in the comments. Therefore, that was their choice. So that's something that cannot be reported or flag your account.
Correct. And whenever the more people that click on your post, that like your post, that comment on your post, that just click on your post, the more it's going to move up in people's news feeds. So the more interaction, the more, you know, attraction that you get to your post. So that's another good thing with clicking, with having your picture in the comments, because if they click on it and they click on the comment, you know, then that kind of bumps it up. Even if they really behind the scenes were interested in the wraps but didn't, you know, didn't want to let you know, then they definitely, sorry, I keep getting messages and it's throwing me off. So yeah, I'm totally sidetracked now. Moving on.
Go back to your notes.
I'm going back to my notes. Yeah, I'm live. What? Sorry. Okay, so one other thing that I found out, whenever you comment on somebody's post, if there's a picture of a kid and you just put like precious baby or whatever, they don't have to necessarily comment back. Even if they just like what you commented, that's an interaction, and so that means that your posts are showing up on their newsfeed again. So you definitely want to make sure that you're still commenting on people's stuff so that your posts are showing up. It's helping your algorithm, and they're keeping you in that other person's algorithm to where your Facebook posts are showing up on their news feeds on their timelines. So like I said, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to have like this whole conversation. It can be a little simple comment and them just clicking like onto your comment that you made, and that is showing Facebook that y'all have interacted and your stuff is being shown up on their news feed. So I think that is it. If anybody has any questions, I know Amy asked already on the friends and messaging part, but if you have any questions on that or on posting, how to set up your profile, you know, anything like that, I think you can unmute yourself. If you can't, then just like start waving like crazy and I'll unmute you.
How do you look
Hi.
at your request again and delete them?
I'll let Amy do that.
Okay, so if you have a request and you're on your computer, you can. Do you have an iPhone, Heather?
I'm not
Oh,
the
my-
one asking that question.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
Natalie.
That's Natalie. I'll ask next.
Sorry, I can't.
I have an
I can't keep
iPhone.
track. Okay, so let me tell you how to do it from your iPhone, and then I'll tell you from your computer. So from your phone, if you're in Facebook and you go on the bottom right-hand corner, it says More.
Mm-hmm.
You can click More, and then it'll bring up the menu on the left, and you can click Friends. And
Okay.
then across the top, over all the way to the right, it'll say Outgoing.
Okay.
And then you literally can just go down and click and undo requests that you have sent out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Now, I know a lot of people don't have iPhones, so just to review that, if you can, and you can also do it from your computer, even if you have an iPhone. Sometimes these things are easier to do on the computer. But if you're on your computer from Facebook, you want to click Friends, and then you want to click Find Friends, and then real small underneath where it'll say pending friend request, it also says view sent request, and you can click on that, and then you can go in and delete those requests that you sent out. And I can post that. I guess I could actually put it in the Diva group tomorrow or something if you guys think that that's helpful, if that was something you guys didn't know before. Because that is so important for staying out of Facebook jail. Because if you go in and you've never cleared that out, but you've been adding friends, I think the first time I found out about it, I don't even want to tell you how many outgoing friend requests I had. I mean, it was literally hundreds. And it's no wonder I couldn't send out but like 2 requests or 3 requests, and I would get, do you know this person? And, you know, don't send this request if you know, every little thing I was getting a warning. So if you clear that out, I promise you, 1, you'll be able to send those friend requests, and 2, it'll help with your algorithms and keeping you out of Facebook jail.
I think Heather Oh,
Yes, yes, I do have a quick question. It's going back to when you were talking about you can have multiple Facebook pages as long as one of them is for business. As my question is, if it's for a different business, then it works. Is that going to cause a problem? Or like, let's say, like my friend Amanda, she has like a t-shirt business that she does, on the side, but she has a Facebook page specifically for that she doesn't do It Works or anything else other than that. Will that affect it at all, or does she need to merge those also?
is it a business page or is it a personal profile page, like
No,
where
it's
you
her
click?
business.
It's a business page.
Okay, you can have as many business pages as you want, but you can only have one personal page where you have to like add people as friends.
Because there's only one Amy LaGrange. There's
Correct.
only one Heather. There's only one Brittany. But you could have the multiple business pages or fan.
Okay.
I don't know if they call them business or fan pages, but
Yeah.
do you guys know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I just want, because she missed the first part of that, and that made me curious. I was like, well, I know, some people have businesses and personal, so I just wanted to make sure that wouldn't affect it negatively.
Yep. Nope, you're good.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome.
On that same subject, I have 2 other personal Facebook pages. One I know how to get into and I can delete, but the other one I have no idea how to get into it even. I don't remember.
Are you using it though?
I haven't used it in years.
Then I wouldn't worry about it.
They're not gonna, okay.
No, if it's an old account that you don't know how to get into and you haven't posted on, you know what I'm saying, you're not actively using, I wouldn't worry about it, because it's not like somebody's going to go to your account and flag it now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we're talking about like 2 active accounts that you're playing on both of them,
Gotcha. All
Like,
right.
for example, if I had Amy LaGrange and then Amy It Works LaGrange or something like that, but yet I'm working, I'm me on both accounts, but I'm using one for one thing and one for another, that is not okay.
I've got a question.
John Eric mentioned in that video of his that he didn't recommend a business page.
That's a personal opinion, and I don't agree with him about that at all.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what you think about it, because you said in the past you've had success with it.
Yes. If you can boost post, have a business page, and boost your post, he doesn't believe in paying for advertisement. I believe paying for advertisement can be good. I mean, every company in the world does it. So, I mean, we can get into more about that, but yes, I know that, a lot of leaders on our team, we do use business pages as well as our personal page,
And business pages, do they actually cost anything to have a business page, or is it only costing to boost a post?
It only costs to boost a post. So you can set it up and you can do whatever you want to on it. What happens is whenever you post on there, whenever you post, your posts are not going to show up on other people's news feeds unless you pay to boost it. So if you're not at that point yet, like if you're not ready to pay for advertisement, which is totally fine because I didn't pay for it in the beginning, it's just a personal preference. But if you're not, if you don't think you'll ever be at that point, if you don't agree with that, then there's no reason to waste your time even building a business page. But if you think that, one day you might want to, then go ahead and set it up, because it doesn't cost anything just to set it up.
How do you get traffic to your business page?
By boosting your posts.
That's the only way. Okay.
You can invite people to like your page, but Facebook is going to decide if and when they show them those posts. And because, like a few years ago, when a lot of people were doing the business pages, you didn't have to pay for that to be seen. But since Facebook decided we can make a lot of money by charging people for those business pages and for that advertising, they've now changed it. So if on a business page, if you're not paying, your stuff is not getting seen by, except for like maybe 1 or 2 people, like not even enough to make it worth your time, if that makes sense. Shan, did you have a question too?
Yeah. I just wanted to know, is there like a limit on how many people you can add, or if they'll put you in like Facebook jail? Because I'm new to this whole thing, and so I don't want to go like on an adding spree and then get stuck in Facebook jail.
There is a number. I don't remember what he said that it was, and that's why I recommended the 10 a day. And I know I am guilty of this too. Like, you know, I'll be like, oh, geez, I haven't added people in like 3 days, so I'm going to add 30 or 40 people today. That's terrible. Don't do it. You know, I'm serious. You know, that's how you get put in Facebook jail. And then you've got 30 requests you send in a day. You've got 100 requests that are pending that people haven't accepted. You know, those are the things that are getting you put in Facebook jail, and you may not even realize it. So if you're new and you're getting started, you know, make a, you know, I don't know if you need to put a sticky on your phone, a reminder email that goes off in your phone, or just make it a habit where every night before bed you send out 10 requests. But sending out 10 a day consistently is going to help you stay out of Facebook jail. Now, that doesn't mean that if you joined and you sent, you know, 10 requests to people from your team to follow, or, you know, stuff like that, that's not going to throw you in jail. But as far as like kind of those random requests, or the people that you really maybe only have a couple friends in common with that you're sending out, those are the ones that you want to try to keep to about 10 a day. And like I said, if you can be consistent with those 10, long term, that's so much better than going on, like I said, you know, I didn't add people for 3 days, so then I feel like, oh my goodness, I need to add 30 people today. Don't do it. You know,
Okay.
You know, be consistent. And I personally think, for me, doing it at night works really well, because then I know that next morning basically who's accepted those requests, because most people are going to check their phone in the morning and they're either going to hit accept or they're going to ignore it. And I'm going to give it a few more days, and then I'm going to clean those requests out so that I don't have those numbers that are all out of whack.
On the flip side of that, this is kind of interesting question. What if you get like 60 friend requests in one day? Do they look at that as well?
Shoot, I don't know. I'd love to get 60 friend requests.
Yeah, really.
Well, I actually did.
Wow. Yeah, as long as what we're talking about when we're saying sending friend requests, if you're sending 10 friend requests that you know these people are going to accept and they immediately accept, then that is perfectly fine. You can send more than 10. But if you're sending 10 random ones and you, like, 2 maybe accept, that's what hurts you. So that's whenever you really want to look at, you know, how many friend requests are you sending out and that sort of thing.
Well, I'll tell you how I did it if y'all are interested.
Go ahead.
I went to a group and I told them that I had some stuff to sell, which I do. And it's a very specific group of women. And I said, hey, I've got the stuff for sale. If you're interested, friend request me. And I got about 60 friend requests and 2 potential loyal customers out of that. So it was pretty clever. It worked pretty well.
Nice.
I will say too, Virginia, that's another good point, because sometimes it's like hard to figure out where you want to add friends from. So let's say, I don't know what group you're in, Virginia, that you added, you know, got those friend requests, but if I'm legitimately interested in other Army wives at Fort Carson, which I am, and I'm in that group and I participate in that group, or I comment on stuff or offer advice on stuff like that, I can send friend requests from that group or from a post, and those people are likely to accept it because we are creating a relationship from that group. So I think groups are awesome for, you know, making new friends and branching out like that. especially if you're using the group as it was intended. You know, you're, like I said, you're legitimately interested in that. You know, I'm not going to go be a part of a group about painting because I don't like to paint, or you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be in groups that you're actually interested in that subject, so you can have things to interact with those people and typically get friend requests or send friend requests and add people that way, you know. And it's not all about your business, but guess what? Once they get on your page, they're going to see, oh, she does It Works, or what's this that she posted about? So you're not sending them that request to say, hey, I want to ask you about my business. You're sending them that request, or they're sending you a request because you have a legitimate friendship or some, you know, a common interest.
One more question. When I have all of my posts set to public, and I have been that way probably since the get-go. Occasionally I do get likes from people who've stumbled on my stuff, and they're not a mutual friend or anything like that, but I go check them out and they look like somebody I might want to friend. So I send them a friend request, even though that's a cold contact. Do you think because they liked my post, that's a good reason for me to send a friend request?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's not necessarily an It Works post, but just any post in general.
No, absolutely. They're interacting with your page. So absolutely, that's like an invitation for them to send, you know, for you to send a friend request. And if you get one of those random messages back that's like, do I know you? Then you can be like, hey, you liked my post, and so I wanted to reach out to you, or thought we might have something else in common, or whatever. I mean, to me, that's an invitation for you to send them a friend request.
Okay. All right.
I have one more question.
Okay.
So kind of related to what she was just asking, but if they send you that message and it's a person who you don't know, but they didn't recently like one of your pictures, but you're in a group, you send them a friend request, and then they send you the message, do I know you? How do we know each other? Obviously, you probably don't. What is a good response or comeback to that to say, well, should you just say something like, oh, I came across your picture, I like your lipstick, or, oh, I saw you at the same park I was at last week, or I don't know. What would you suggest?
I say try to be honest. If you actually remember where you added them from, if it was a group, and you would say, oh, we're both in this group, or, you know, we both, something like that. Like, I would try to tell them something like that, because most of the time people are like, oh, okay. Now, sometimes that happens, and I'll be honest, I'm sure it's happened to you too. You have no clue where you added that person from.
Well, I just like to think, like, I'm reaching out to a lot of, like, mommy friends and, you know, kind of try to relate to them on a mommy level, like, because I just had a baby, trying to get back in shape, and a lot of them are coming from, like, mommy groups and things of that nature. So
then I would just be like, hey, we're both in the same mom's group, and I'm trying to make some new friends.
okay.
I mean,
Definitely do not say anything about It Works or you're in network marketing or anything like that. But yeah, like Amy was saying, if you remember, if you know where you met that person, then let them know that that's it. Personally, I'm ADD and my mind is like gone half the time, so I don't ever remember where I see somebody or meet somebody at. I just ignore it. Either they're going to accept it or not.
Okay.
and that's true. I mean, if they don't accept, you're no worse off than you were.
Exactly, because I don't know them to begin with, so I don't really stress about it. I just ignore it and keep going.
Okay, sounds good.
Brittany, I have a question. When you said you're setting up your Facebook page, where it says your job, do you suggest putting that we're a distributor or no? Because, like, when I go to your profile page, like, I can't see your about like I can on mine, but when I click your about, then it says, you know, double diamond thing.
Yes. I have already reached my 5,000 friends limit. So every day I'm having to go through and delete people. And really and truthfully, the only people that I've been recently adding are people from my boosted post. So they already know that I'm in the business.
Okay.
So whenever they go to it for them to see that I'm a double diamond, whatever, with It Works, that doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But I do suggest in the beginning, when you're sending a lot of random friend requests, not having that as your, in your about. That way that doesn't like immediately turn somebody off.
Okay. I'm definitely quite a few thousand friends away, so.
Yes, when I started adding friends last year, I went crazy, and thank God that it wasn't part of the algorithm, because I would have been in Facebook jail like every day. Like seriously, I go through my on this day, and it'll tell you like your new friends that you friended over the past year or whatever. And it's like 30 people a day that's accepted friend requests. So I don't know how many people I was actually sending requests to. So yeah, I've already maxed out.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody?
Doesn't even have to be about Facebook jail. You got our attention.
Yeah.
I have a question. The other day when you did that post about like tag your upline that you joined with, about like, I'm so glad it only took me a month to join so-and-so. If people don't change that post and say that you got tagged in it 5 times, does that show up as spam? Like, does that make your profile look like spam?
I don't know if that would show up as spam. Brittany, you can comment on that. But what I do think happens when something like that is posted over and over, or you're tagged in the same thing, is it's going to be seen less.
Okay.
That's one of those posts that instead of being seen by 16% of your friends, it's seen by 5% or something like that. What do you think?
No, I completely agree. I don't think it necessarily like flags your account. You can very easily click that little drop down arrow and untag yourself. Yeah.
I untagged myself. Like, I wasn't even thinking about Facebook jail. I untagged myself simply because I felt like it looked like it was copy and pasted. Like it was the same message, and I didn't want the people following me being like, oh, they just all use the same posts. And so I untagged myself.
Another thing you can do, if you wanted to leave the tag in there, but you maybe didn't want it on your timeline, is you can just hide it from your timeline. And when you do that, it's also going to not be seen as much.
Okay.
I know I do that sometimes, like when there's a lot of stuff and you're like, holy moly, I got to get my own stuff to be seen.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I'm on my computer now, looking at my friends. Where do I go to look and clear out my friend request?
Oh, click friends.
Okay.
And then do you see where it says find friends?
No, it just says all friends recently added new post.
Over towards the right-hand side, I think there's somewhere that it'll say find friends. Do you see it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, click that.
And then it says view sent request.
Yes. You hit the jackpot.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so you can just go through and look at those and then basically cancel out a lot of those that you've sent.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
So if there's nothing to view that's recent, but you sent like 30 or 40 in the last week, but only 3 of it accepted, does that mean they all denied you?
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yep.
Well, at least you don't have to clean them out.
Get a lot of rejection, apparently.
So this is about Instagram, but it kind of has to do with like clearing out those people that didn't follow you, I guess, on Instagram. Does anyone else have the issue with Buffer? They only let you unfollow unfollow 10 people for like 3 hours.
You got to get followers.
Yeah, you got to get followers. It'll let you unfollow 60 or 75 people every hour.
Awesome.
You do have to pay for it. I think it's like $1 or $2, but it's well worth it.
Okay, no, that would be well worth it because I feel like I've been trying to get my numbers balanced for like the last 2 months and I get so discouraged. I'm like, screw you, Instagram, I hate you.
The other
Another
thing
great
you
thing
can
to
do-
check out is Instagress.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you were saying, Amy? I'm
I
sorry.
was about to. I was like, it'll unfollow for you. It's awesome.
Yes, Instagress will follow and unfollow for you and like people's stuff.
Oh, hey,
The
perfect.
first is it how many you can get 3 days free. So if you're trying to get caught up, like if your followers are way out of whack, one, definitely get the followers app, and I can screenshot you what it looks like if you can't find it. But the other thing is you can get that Instagress for free for 3 days, and you can have it unfollowing people for you. And it'll do like up to 1,000 in a day, I think. Is that right, Brittany?
Something like that. It's crazy. If you put it on fast mode, it'll definitely get your numbers picked back, back even.
That's what I need because right now on Instagram, I think I'm in Instagram jail for looking like spam.
Yeah, then that's what you need to do. It'll help you. Like it'll get me back in check within a day.
Awesome.
Now, be careful because you do have to pay for Instagress after the 3 days. I think it's like $9.99 for a month. But I mean, it's a business write-off. It's worth it, if you can afford it. But be careful because it's like following so many people that like I can't keep up with accepting all these requests. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I have to pause it because I'm like, I can't, you're going too fast. I can't keep up with it.
But it's really good for unfollowing.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do something on the fast mode and you need to get your numbers back in check and you don't have time to go to followers and unfollow 60, you know what I mean? Some days you just can't keep up with it. So it's a great way to get back in check.
Perfect. Thanks.
But definitely followers. I don't know what the heck happened to Crowdfire. It went crazy.
Yeah.
That 10 a day is poop.
Yeah. That's the thing is I feel like I've been working on trying to get my numbers even, but then I want to follow more people each day, and I'm like, I'm never going to get caught up.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like select all the friends and unrequest them, or do I have to individually go in one by one and?
You have to individually go in one by one. I find it quicker on your phone whenever you go because you just tap the button instead of clicking on, whatever and then clicking confirm, whatever.
If you have an iPhone, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Can you do it on the Facebook app, or do you have to go to the internet?
No, you can do it on the app.
Okay, so
I'll tell you. Go. Are you on your phone now?
Yeah, I'm on it now.
Okay, click the little more on the bottom right.
Do I go find my friends first, or?
Well, do the more and then friends.
Okay, more. I don't have an iPhone. I'm on a Samsung.
Oh Lord, I can't help you.
I don't know either. I'm an iPhone girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Google it. I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
Google how to delete from request on Facebook app from Android or whatever.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Android probably doesn't know how to do it. You should get an iPhone.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes, I just have another question. So if we have a DP under us who, we're wanting to help them out with posts and things of that nature, and if we tag them in that, is that something that maybe we should do or should not do? We're trying to show them how to, what a post should look like if they're not necessarily responding to any messages, or
if they're not posting, yes, tag them. But I will say that it's not going to show up on people's newsfeed like it would as if they actually posted it themselves.
Right. It'll
So,
say,
but it's better than nothing.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I want her to be successful. I want to help, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that it's not
Hurting you.
hurting me or hurting her even
Yeah.
in a bad way. So I just
No,
wanted to
I
make
saw
sure.
that you did that, Heather, and I think that's a great idea. If I hadn't told you that, I was like, yay.
Okay, good. I'm glad because I was like, we gotta just do this.
The other
make it
thing
happen.
is when they haven't caught on and you do that, even if you just do it in one of your posts a day or two of your posts a day, something like that, they're going to see that. And I mean, hopefully, Lord, we can't help everybody, but hopefully they catch
just, like,
on and they're
catch
like,
on.
oh yeah, this is a good way to post, or I see what she did. I mean, I
Or
think
if they're scared to post and just somebody of their friends likes it or comments on it, you get all giggly inside and like that fire comes back and you know what I'm saying? Like that might actually kind of stir them up and get them going.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks.
anybody else? All right. If nobody else has any questions, then we will let you guys go. Last chance. And it can be on any.
Okay, I have a question. I actually have a question.
Go ahead.
What would y'all how do y'all suggest, because I'm actually new at this, how would y'all suggest about blitzing? That's one thing I haven't actually done.
I love blitzing. So are you wanting to blitz like people when you're checking out places, or are you there's so many ways to blitz?
Pretty much just going like to the grocery store or just walking down the street when I'm outside riding bikes with my kids and stuff.
Okay, so grocery store, blitz your checkout, girl. It's so easy. Like you're standing there checking out. I mean, those people are always asking you about your day or talking about what you're buying, or you know what I mean? Make it a point to start up a conversation with them so that it's not as awkward. And then you could ask them a question like, hey, is this the only job that you have? Because some of those checker people, like, that's not enough for them. You know what I mean? So you could open the conversation that way. Or you could say, as you're finishing up with your checkout, I don't know about you, but those people are always giving me coupons for something at the grocery store. Like 50 of those things spit out. Or are you playing the Monopoly game? Or, I mean, it's always something. So when they give that to you, one thing I like to say is, oh, I love coupons. Hey, I have a coupon for you. And you give them your Blitz card. And they're like, oh, what's this? And you don't have to take forever at checkout explaining everything. But you can just say, oh, it's that crazy wrap thing. Have you ever heard of it? It tightens, tones, and firms your skin. This is what it is. You know, this is what it does. Flip your card over. You can keep it that simple at checkout. Because at checkout, I'm not trying to hold up the line and get their information. Although if you can get their information, it's way better. But, I mean, especially if you're doing it at the end, I find that not getting the information is better and just giving them your card. But like I said, they give me a coupon, and I'm like, oh, I love coupons. I got one for you, because I keep them real easy to pull out of my purse. Now, when you're, like, out riding bikes, that's a little bit different with your kids in the neighborhood because, I mean, are you riding around with Blitz cards in your pocket?
No, usually I have a bag. So like if we stop somewhere for like a water or something, like a little snack on it at the park around the corner.
Okay, perfect. I'm just trying to picture the scenario because I'm like, if I was outside, I would not have all my Blitz cards. But that's perfect. So if you stop for a minute and you're, you know, chatting with someone else, or, you know, you and your daughter are taking a break or whatever it is, I mean, I think it's easy to say, I mean, honestly, I think Jesse posted this idea the other day, and you could use it every time because I doubt you're going to see the same person every time, is be like, oh my gosh, I'm in this new business. It works. Have you ever heard of it? I'm on a scavenger hunt, and I'm supposed to give, you know, 3 of these Blitz cards, you know, 3 of these coupons out to people that are out in a park today. They don't know if that's true or not. It's a scavenger hunt. You can make up what it is for. But I'm saying you can use something like that to break the ice. I mean, I always do stuff like that. But if you're legitimately talking to someone, I think it's super easy. Like if it's someone you're getting to know, to ask what they do, they're probably going to ask what you do, and you can share with them. Or if you're talking to them and they said something about like they're so tired, that's a perfect segue for you to say, oh my gosh, I have this amazing product that I bet you would love. They're called greens. They help to detox and pH balance your body, and you will love the energy you get from them. You know, here's my card. This is actually, you know, about another product that we have, but my information's on there. That's simple. It's always better if you can get their information. And one way that you can do that, especially if you're just like out and about, you've probably got your phone with you. You can say, hey, can I add you real quick on Facebook? Or, hey, you can ask them if they have their phone, be like, do you want to add me real quick on Facebook? And then we'll have each other's contact information. Something like that. Most people, if you ask them that and put them on the spot, they're not going to tell you no. I mean, they can delete you later, but in that moment, they're probably not going to be rude to your face and say no. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, or I don't want a coupon, okay, I don't care. I got 20 more of these coupons I can give to someone else. So I hope that helped. But the scavenger hunt thing I think is great, because I swear you can use that anywhere. Like, you know how sometimes you'll be out and you just see someone and you're like, dang, I know this girl would be amazing in my business. Like, does that happen to you?
Yeah, actually, my girlfriend is the one that talked me into getting to It Works, because I go anywhere and I have conversations with everybody. Everybody wants to tell me their whole life story. Everybody's always just asking me, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, okay, do I have like that face that, you know,
That's awesome. So when they say, hey, how are you doing? Then you, especially if that's your personality, since I don't really know you, it's hard for me to tell you, but you could say, I'm having a great day. I'm so excited. I've got to share this with you. Boom. Give them a card. And if they're like, what is this? They asked you how your day was going. They just invited you to share that with them.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was like.
So
yeah,
try
that's why I was kind of like, I'll just, you know, add it into there.
Scavenger hunt.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that then.
I think you're going to do it. The more you do it,
there's the fire alarm thing.
The easier it gets. So, you know, make it a plan that tomorrow you're going to blitz 3 people if you blitz, you know, 0 people today.
Okay.
I found what works for me recently. I have a Blitz card that's laminated and hangs off my purse. When I'm at the checkout, I make sure that that Blitz card is facing the cashier. And every single time the cashier has like touched my card and like asked me about it.
I heard a girl one time, she carried a box of wraps in her purse. And like, when
I have 2.
Hey, did you do this too?
She asked him to hold it while she's digging stuff out of her purse.
Well, maybe it was Amber that I heard it from.
No, I haven't done that, but I'll try it.
Okay,
yeah, well, you pull stuff out of your purse.
When she goes to dig for her wallet, she takes the box of wraps out, and she says, oh, can you hold this for a second? And she hands it to the cashier, and so the cashier's like, what in the world is this, you know?
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, good.
But another thing, when you're out like biking with your kids, buy some of the shirts. I wear a shirt every day. I have one on right now. Thanks to Amy.
Well, and then I learned if you go through the same fast food restaurant multiple times, they eventually remember you. And this happened to me 2 days ago. The lady at Arby's, because I've been clean eating, so it's the only place I can like get a wrap and it's healthy. But it's this young like college girl, and she was like, "Okay, I've got to ask, why are you always so happy? Like, what is your secret to life?" And it was a good blitzing moment, because I was like, well, I was like, it's lunch hour, right? You get people that are rushing through that have to get back to their job. I said, I don't have to do that. And she's like, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom? And I said, yeah, and I just got a 4-figure paycheck. I was like, do you want to talk about making a $500 bonus? And she was like, yeah, and I wrote my information on a napkin. And so That's another thing. Is go to, like, I know Amber goes to Dunkin' a lot.
One of my newest loyals is a girl that was working there.
Yep. So get fat. Go to Dunkin' and go to fast food restaurants, guys.
Oh my word. Oh, I love this. It's so good to get to hear everybody's voice and get to connect with you guys. So I have got to go check on my kids. I don't, you guys can keep going if you want, but they're still chatting away in there, and I have to get those suckers up for school in the morning.
No, my husband just asked me, "Are you almost done so we can go to bed?"
Yeah, my kids are. Yeah, I need to go check on them too because they're about to get in trouble.
It is an hour later there, so you best get them in bed.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. If y'all have any other questions, y'all can always feel free to PM us or anything like that. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So y'all have a good night. Bye.
Good night.
All right, have a good night.